Welcome back. I am the OP Leprechaun, and this is my Superflat survival world. I'm not going to say it this time. I'm not going to say, let's pick up where we've left off. I didn't actually say it. I said I'm not going to say it. So, here we go. Let's build some stuff. How's that sound? One of the things I haven't been very good at in my other series is building something almost every episode. It's not necessary, but I'm trying to make myself a better builder, and I'm trying to improve on my building. So this series, I'm really going to try to build a lot more than I have in previous series. Right now, the struggle with that is my lack of available blocks. That is a big hamper on the things that I would like to build. So instead of continuing to wait around for access to those blocks, which is kind of how I've done the other series, I'm just going to build with what I've got and try and come up with something that is similar to what I'm trying to create. You know, I've got some Pinterest ideas and some historical buildings that I've looked at, so I have an idea of what this area is going to look like. And instead of talking about it, why don't I just build it? All right, we got a new wandering trader in here, and he has moss blocks for us, which is awesome. I don't need any more mangrove, but I am going to take every one of those he'll give me, as well as more ice. I don't see much point in Nautilus shells, since I can't get prismarine in this world, because it's a super flat, so it's not like I can build a conduit or anything. So we're just going to skip out on that, but I will grab some coral block. And yeah, so now we have another wood type. Still no spruce. I really wish that we had some spruce, because there's actually some detail work in here that I want to do with some spruce wood. But I do have a finished little gazebo area here. I'm actually going to back off just a hair. Yeah, the roof was a little bit of an experiment with the blocks that I have at hand. You will notice that there is still squid. I didn't think that they could spawn in just one block. I might have to kill them all and then put half slabs in here so that there's not a full block to spawn. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because you can waterlog the half slabs. The whole point of this building is to make more pointed dripstone. I forgot that you have to start with pointed dripstone to get pointed dripstone. It doesn't just drip water through dripstone blocks. So that is going to have to wait until we get a wandering trader that shows up with some pointed dripstone in his inventory. This one was a pretty good one. The moss I'm really excited about, because that means that I can make myself a moss farm, and that will definitely help with bone meal production, things like that. I need to get enough bone meal to get it started, so I might do that, but I need redstone for that too. So basically, I'm at a standstill with a lot of those farms until I go to the nether. So now we have oak, mangrove, jungle. I'm going to put up a couple of dark oaks here on the other side of the area, and we'll get some of those going. And then we also have sugarcane, which I have not been very good about coming over here and checking on and spreading, because I'm kind of lame, and I got distracted with building. So we're just going to go ahead and replant this. At least I had a moat set up somewhere to plant it for now. All right. So anyways, we have the aging shack, whatever you want to call it. It's you could call it a gazebo, you could call it an outdoor patio, you could call it whatever you want, but it is purely decoration for a pointed dripstone farm, which I can't even use yet because I don't have any pointed dripstone. But it was the original plan for this area, and we're going to continue to do it. This right here that I am marking out right now is going to be where the actual villager trading hall is. And then over on this outcropping over here, we are going to have the mud slash there's a word for it, clay block farm, if I can get that working. I'm not sure. Again, I got to check out and see if that's not working, simply because it's down there on the bedrock. I mean, I could solve that question right now and just go take down the stuff that I have sitting there and bring it up here and see if it works. Alright, so we brought it up away from the bedrock. I've got an air gap underneath it for that. I don't know if there's any rules about how many blocks have to be underneath it. I honestly don't know anything about this mechanic. I've never used it because I've been playing on a world that has a giant mesa mine quarry, so I don't have to worry about it. We'll give this a shot, see how she works. Okay, so I did a thing. This is the AFK platform for our new mob spawner, and it's fairly straightforward. They spawn on here, they walk into the water stream. I didn't intend to build it this way. I intended to build it to be more of using their own mechanics to get them to walk into the water streams, but there are so many slimes around here. And the only way that I could get them to not do that is if I flooded this whole area. So we're going to have to get some redstone. We're going to have to go get some nether quartz. We're going to have to go get some soul sand because while this works, it'd just be easier to just have it be a soul sand elevator. And then there's the other thing that I did. This is the last thing you saw me working on. It actually looks really nice from across the way there. That is my new villager trading hall, which is what prompted me to build this. Let's go over there and I'll show you. Alright, so here's our little villager trading hall. Ended up pretty good, pretty okay. I fussed around a little bit too much with the texturing on the bottom, which is why not a lot of it got recorded, because I was trying to figure out how to do the texturing in a way that I like even a little bit. You know me, I have a tendency to overthink these things and try to make them a little too busy. So up here is probably going to be librarians and maybe cartographers. We'll see what else ends up here, but for sure librarians are going up here. Plenty of room, and we have access to the underground where the vast majority of the villagers are going to be. They're going to stay down here. The ones up there are just going to be for looks and for, I mean, they're going to be useful, don't get me wrong, but I'm not bringing all of these masons and trying to cram them all up in this building. That's why there's a door to the basement here. But yeah, this over here, the mushroom stand, a little bit of bone block, a little bit of quartz stairs, just because I wanted a little bit of framing for the windows. A couple of nice chimneys. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'll probably do a little more details here and there later as things come across. Who knows, maybe I'll do some vines. I really wish that I had access to glow lichen on this world. It would definitely be nice, but we're going to call it that. Still waiting on dang Wandering Trader to show up with some dripstone. Figured out what I was missing. I forgot that for all of these, you have to start with the pointed dripstone. It's not the blocks of dripstone turned into the pointed. You have to have pointed dripstone. And then over here for the mud machine to clay machine, you have to have the dripstone blocks and then pointed dripstone underneath. That's the step I was skipping. So one thing we are going to do real quick, just because I have heard through the rumor mill that if you put a bell up in the Superflat, they are more likely to have Wandering Traders spawn more often. I have no idea how true that is. It's just something that I have heard. So for right now, I'm going to put it right there, just because one little splash of color kind of goes with the glowberries over here. So yeah, still waiting on the Wandering Trader for that. But as you can see, I don't even have a helmet or pants left, and my other armor is just about ready to die. We're going to go to the nether, but first we're going to buy some decent armor, bring a piece of gold armor with. I'm only going for soul sand, some nether quartz, maybe some nether gold if I run into that too. I'm not going bastion raiding. I'm not going fortress hunting. I just need some basics. Well, I don't know if it was the bell or if it was just the right time, but I hear a wandering trader somewhere around here. There he is. He's stuck in the water. I mean, I'll take some green dye. I'll take some brown dye. I mean, I'll take all these dyes for nothing. I mean, I don't need anything else there, though. I really don't. I really wish you had dripstone and birch, or spruce, actually. I really wish you had spruce. Okay, well, that was kind of a bust waiting around for that one. But that's alright, because we're going to head downstairs, and we're going to buy some armor. Alright, so you can see I mined myself up some obsidian, because we are not going to be going in the portal that we already have open. That's just not happening. There's no point in that. It's in a basalt delta. I don't feel like navigating through the basalt delta to try and get over to where there's some nether quartz and soul sand. So we're gonna run around, complete a couple of the other abandoned portals that are in my area, and we're gonna see if we can't get a little bit better area for mining that stuff. Okay, so on this one we have Prot 2, Fire Prot 2, Unbreaking 2, Projectile Protection 3, Unbreaking 2, Protection 2. Protection 2, Depth Strider. Yeah, we're gonna go with those boots. Alright, cover me in diamonds. That's Projectile Protection 2. Those are Protection 2. We're just gonna go for straight up Protection 2. Chest plates, Fire Prot 1, Unbreaking 2. I would just go with Protection 2. Just protection in general is just all around better. Helmet is Protection 2. That's Projectile Protection 3. I'm gonna go with that one for now. And then I'm gonna throw some... I still have that Feather Falling 3 book that I've been sitting on since my very first trade with a villager. Boom. And I'm gonna make a new shield. Alright, I'm gonna grab a stack of dirt just so I have some pillaring blocks just in case. And let's go ahead and... There we go. Enchanted diamond. We'll go with that. I'm gonna go grab my flint and steel, we're gonna grab a horse, and we're gonna go venture around and find us another portal that leads us to somewhere besides a basalt delta. Yeah, I started talking about this earlier but got distracted. The reason that I went ahead and built the mob farm was because I desperately need bone meal. I am so not able to keep up with bone meal production. Just getting this much mushroom stem took so much of the bone meal that I currently have, and it's super slow right now. So I need to get that mob farm working so that I have good access to bone meal and bone blocks for a lot of the color palette that I'm going with right now, and also just because gotta have bone meal, man. Alright, well, we found ourselves a new portal, actually a couple of new portals. Another one just off in the distance over here somewhere. There it is. So we're gonna pop through here and see where we're at. Oh, well, okay. We're in a fortress now. I was not expecting that. Still in the basalt delta. That's why I wanted to go far enough away. Oh, well, nether quartz. That's what I'm here for. Ooh, nether gold. Yeah, we're dead smack in the middle of a basalt delta. I need to go even farther away. And there's like no mobs in here. Oh, well, there's my first blaze. I'm gonna have to... Well, okay, that was not okay. Oh, that was not okay. Oh, was not expecting that. Okay, I need to get some blocks and set up a little safety here. Whew, that was not what I was expecting. All right, come here to you. Okay, we're gonna go away now. I almost died right there. So, we went a little bit farther west. Does that look like the direction coming out of that fortress that we actually got into some nether waste? And there we go. Really down low to the lava, because obviously, see, I barely made it out of that fortress. It's right there. Okay, there we go. If I can get a stack of quartz blocks, I gotta be doing really... You know what I should be doing is leaving myself a trail. Just so I can find my way back. Oh, real quick, before I get completely bombed by piglins here, we're gonna go ahead and put that on. Oh, the thought of getting some glowstone. Yeah, I could do that, or I could just sell enough stuff to clerics to get them leveled up and just buy my glowstone. I think I'm going to lean more towards that, because that always ends up being like a super risky... I only need a couple more, and I've got 2 stacks of nether quartz. Alright, so we got plenty of that. Yeah, that's that same fortress. The only other thing that I'm really looking for... I really want to get some soul sand so I can make some elevators. Yep. Oh, I should put that in my... Put that in my hotbar before he decides to blow me up. There we go. First gas kill. Alright. Gonna continue on like we have been, and we are going to continue to head west for a little bit, find another portal, and see if that will change our luck with finding some soul sand. Okay, we're right on the edge of that waste. And a Crimson Forest. Ooh, is that one easier? That one might be easier to get at. Yes. Much easier. Alright. Alright. A stack of that is all I really need. Kinda just want to peruse. No bastions or nothing. It was nice of that one portal to open up right into a fortress, so I'm gonna be taking advantage of that. I definitely need to go back in there and find where the nether wart is so that I can get some potion brewing going. How much you want to bet it's going to be night when I come back through there? Oh, hey, look at that. I was right. And I'm going to be too close to all these mobs to be able to sleep. Alright, we made it back. There's everything we got from our little nether escapade there. And one more. So, I went over and got a new diamond pickaxe from my villager trades over there. And what we're going to do is I turned that one into a Fortune 3. And we're going to call it Fortunate Enough because, you know, we don't really need fortune all that much in this particular world because we're not really mining all that much. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take all that nether gold, and rather than try to fortune it into nuggets, we're just going to put it in a furnace with a lava bucket. I mean, each one of those is going to smelt into a gold ingot, and that's going to be plenty good enough. For the quartz, we are going to lay it out and use fortune. Oop, slimes. Alright. See what we get out of just shy of 1 stack. I don't know how I ended up 1 block shy, but... Alright. So, 2 and a bit, you know, could be better, could be worse. It'll allow me to build some redstone components that I have been waiting on. That's what this is mostly about, is I just need to get some dispensers to shoot some water in here to knock them off here to make this way more efficient than it is right now, because it's really not very efficient. I mean, if I go stand right here, then some of them will come walking this direction, but it's not great. So, thus, the redstone and the water, and then I also want a water column going up. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and get as much bone meal as I can out of this, because right now I'm sitting at about 2 stacks, give or take. And I'd like to severely increase the amount of bone meal production I have. I'm going to go ahead, I got to go grab my kelp from over there at the trading hall. And I'm going to finish up this water column and kelp my way up there. So I need bone meal for that. So we got all kinds of stuff that we need. So I'll get back when I have a better way up and down from that thing, and then we'll work on the mob spawner. And we're back. And as you can see, I have a phantom roof over the top of my AFK spot because it is high enough to actually get attacked by the phantoms. I'm at level 132 up here. So let's take a look at what we had to do to get this thing to work. So there are much more efficient ideas of this. This one ended up being extremely resource heavy. I could have made a much better, much bigger darkroom spawner with a lot less resources. But you know what? It works. So here you can see I now have it working where half of it is flooded, the other half is not. They will flow down the drop chute, and then the etho hopper clock will swap. It will suck that water back up, and we'll drop water there and knock all of these guys down. Just like that. And I did go back and put in the original 30-second timer on here and my original plan of using the observers. So, that is all she wrote on that one. I also did finish the drop chute. And this is a very, very long bubble elevator. Woo! You can get a little motion sick doing that. It is about 130 blocks up here, so it's a long way. Just so you know, I have water up there, not falling 4 blocks, so I like this better than having water at the bottom, because then I don't land in water and I can immediately go running out. So over here now we have quite a bit of drops now. We're getting a lot of glow ink sac because, you know, we are extremely low in the world down here and there is water. So we get a lot of those still. But I'm getting plenty of bones, some gunpowder, a lot more string. But bones, gunpowder, and even rotten flesh to sell to the clerics is definitely something I am going to enjoy. Plenty of iron these days, even though that is actually my primary trade for emeralds right now, is iron. We have lots, so it's definitely not a worry. So there we go. There are our bone meal issues solved. I'm going to AFK at that for a while till I get a few stacks of bone blocks and then bring them over to grow some mushrooms and get some more mushroom stems so that I can finish building the last build for this episode. So we'll keep an eye out for the Wandering Trader. It still is a nice view over there. I would really like it if I could get a Wandering Trader to come sell me some pointed dripstone. That would really, really make my day. Alright, I have cleaned this out of all the bone meal and the gunpowder. Finishing up the last of the gunpowder now. Every time I think I'm done, a couple more pop down. So that is the gunpowder we got. This here is the bone meal we got. Much, much better than what I was doing for bone meal. So I have still 3 more stacks of bone meal after I take these over to the mushroom hut and get myself some more mushroom stem, red and brown mushroom. We'll see. I think I'm going to bring a couple of barrels. I did make some extras. 1 over for each color, stem, brown and red. And yeah, we're going to go over, we're going to do a little bit of resource gathering. I do need to make some more mud because I'm not going to have enough mud brick and packed mud to make the other building. I'm also just sitting here struggling because I really want to get started on this building and it just feels kind of defeatist because I'm literally sitting here waiting for a Wandering Trader to show up with pointed dripstone so that this building and this building actually have purpose rather than just sitting here. All right, well, I'm going to get at it. I'm going to get some resources gathered and we will come back when we are ready to start build. I promise I'm not going to build it and come back and say, oh, look at what I did. I will actually, you know, film the building this time. All right, and we are back. I let this run for a little while, trying to get another Wandering Trader to show up and fill up. We're actually getting quite a few witches, as you can see by the glass bottles, glowstone dust and redstone in here. Alright, and while I was waiting, I built the auto sheep shearer finally. The continued harvest of dirt from underneath this area has continued. That's where I'm keeping all my dirt from down here. And it makes a pretty easy access over here for the sheepes. So I've got light gray, dark gray, brown, green, and white. I've got some other dyes back at the trading hall, which we'll go ahead and run over to, because I have a little sneaky tunnel that goes over there now. Alright, we run right down this hallway here. Now we're in the no man's land. And ducking through the moat real quick. Kidoki. So, as you can see, I have moved all the villagers down. They were all up there. But I moved them down here now because we are actually going to be doing something with that piece of property right there. So I didn't add any more villagers, but all my masons are over here, including the two that were originally part of this chain of villagers here. And I did remove these stairs for now because I will be putting powered rails up here. And again, up here, we're going to start with the librarians and I think cartographers. I don't have any of those yet, but I'm going to get some. Just for emerald trades, more than anything else. So we're going to have librarians up here, and then a few cartographers. And down here I'll have all my smiths and farmers and everybody else who does grunt work. And then the masons are just going to stay down here in the hole. Because I'm going to have more of them, because I'm still trying to get regular terracotta out of them while I wait for dripstone, pointed dripstone to be available. That frees up this whole area here now for a build. And I actually have started hollowing out this area here. So what's going to go over here, I'm going to tear this little hut down. I'm going to dig out all of this dirt. Eventually, I will move all of this stuff down to the bedrock level and just get rid of all of this and just move it down. But right now, the sugarcane farm is going to go over here when I'm done with the current build. And that current build is entirely dependent on how big my mud and clay farm is going to be. So we're actually going to build those farms first before we worry too much about building a building around them. So here's all of our redstone components. Well, I'll just grab all of this stuff that's in this row right here because I pretty much need it all. All right, so we want to have this be right about here. Will be fine. So this is a piston pusher. Ends up being a ribbon tape for it produces mud. This is a mud machine, in case I hadn't clarified. I think I did. Okay, so honestly, this is about it. I mean, this will do the whole bama jamma here. All right, I need to go right here. And one more of these torches. And one more repeater. Alright, so now, I want to put a piece of dirt over here. It will push that in front of there. That triggers off all the works here. And since it's reading that comparator, it's the whole redstone secrets and stuff. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go trade for a whole bunch of glass. I'm going to make enough glass bottles to fill that dispenser. And then what'll happen is every time I place a block and it interrupts the signal to there, it'll fire off that dispenser. So what'll happen is it'll shoot out a bottle, it'll shoot through the water, it'll get sucked down into that hopper filled, because dispensed bottles, just like dispensed buckets, take water from a water source if it's in front of them. Then it'll go into that hopper, go in that dispenser, and the next time it triggers, that dispenser shoots off. Okay, here's the other part of this that makes it a little bit awkward with the shape that I have set up. I actually wanted this building to be a little bit longer, and it probably still will be, but we're going to start running into issues. So I only made it 5 wide, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add in our system for activating the ribbon tape part of this whole works here. Alright, so we're going to power all of these with a little redstone dust coming off of that block. I do not like my new mouse. I want my old mouse back. but the scroll wheel was so bad on it. So now when I place that right there, all those go off. All right, so we got it in free cam here. So this will start turning on to mud, and when it gets to there, it connects to the wall right there. Okay, so as I'm placing dirt, you can see the wall is not connected to the dirt, but then when it makes the connection to the dirt, it activates the observer, sets off the pistons. So that's going to be how all of our ribbon tapes operate here. All right, here we go. I am all done building it. As you can see, we have our dripstone floor up here, and the furnaces at either end they're immovable blocks, so they can't push past and they have to turn. And then when it hits this one, the whole system will stop if this whole thing is full. So once it's full up with mud, I can either harvest the entire thing, which is roughly 2 stacks, give or take a little bit. I think it's a little under 2 stacks. Or I can just harvest the stuff. I keep forgetting I don't have an elytra. Harvest the stuff down here and going up, and leave the stuff up there to dry out once I get my dripstone. So, one very important detail that I forgot to show everybody before I went away. You need to put in filter items. Otherwise, this whole system breaks and it doesn't work. So 1 empty glass bottle, and then 6 of whatever filter, and then 5, 5, 5. So you need 21 filter items spread out just like this, and then 1 of the empty glass bottles. And I did do enough of the villager trading to fill up the whole dispenser minus what's already in the system. So we're going to pop over here. I'm going to get this lined up, and then we're going to use cheaty free cam mode here. So now we can watch this all as all right, we're about to start making our turn here. There we go. Now we're going to start going up. There we go. Every 5 of these go out. They go up a level, and now they start pushing over. So it is just over 2 stacks. And get 1 more row in there. And now the system is full. So there we are. So I did put a furnace behind this wall because technically this piston can actually push out a little farther than this, but I'm trying to keep it inside the constraints of the building. So now we can harvest all this, and like I said, we can do mud and all the way back to the machine itself. And there we go. So we can do it exactly like that, or once we get dripstone, we'll have plenty of dripstone drying this stuff out and turning it into clay so that we can get some plain terracotta and go from there. Next, we have to build a building around this. I'm having to change the design I originally intended because I thought I had a little more room up here, but I could make it like 2 blocks over, but really, honestly, I'm just going to adapt the design a little bit. So let me finish gathering materials for that, and then we'll come on back. All right. Materials are gathered. I don't need much in that chest, but I've got plenty of mud bricks, mud, jungle planks, and then I went over and raided one of the rooms in that trial chamber that we already raided over there. That one there. There's a whole lot more missing now. And all the spawners are blocked off so they won't respawn until I open them up. I went and got copper because I'm going to use the stage 3 copper for the roof. First things first. We're going to just go ahead and just lay out our whole idea behind this building. This is kind of where our entryway is gonna be. Okay, I think we're gonna go over here 1 more block because that's gonna leave us room. I'm gonna move my super smelter with the lava buckets up into here because that's what I'm going to use to smelt the clay blocks into terracotta. So I want to leave enough room to be able to manage that. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back in and detail that a little later. Maybe get some slabs in there just to kind of break that up just a little more. All right, so now we got the basic structure for the first section. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know, fill these in a little bit, kind of make them a little archy looking. And we're gonna do a very similar pattern to that over there with the packed mud and then some more of the brown mushroom. All right, I definitely like that. I like that it looks like it's got some depth without actually having to make the walls 2 or 3 blocks thick. I'm still working on trying to make anything that looks like that look good. All right, so we're going to start with some copper stairs, and we are going to get on up here. And we're just going to go across and lay this whole thing out all the way around. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Okay, so we got that whole layer done. Now I'm going to go through and we're going to strip all this back just one layer. Taking the wax off because everything you get from the trial chambers is waxed. Alright, so now we got the patina down where we want it, and we're just going to go ahead and... I can dig something like that. It looks like it's somewhat structural. Yeah, we're going to keep playing around with this, and then we will... I'll come on back once I get a little bit more of the idea behind this fleshed out. Alright, a little bit of progress going on here. I got the framing done on the upper level of this. Figured I'd come on back for showing the layering and a little bit of the detailing that we're going to do on this before we get to the roof. And we're going to use some of our jungle planks here. Alright, let's take a look at what we get out of that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So we're going to get that all the way around. Something similar to that anyways. And yeah, we'll get this all framed in and see how she looks. Barely enough bricks, but we got there. Alright. So there is our basic build for the plant industrial area, I guess you could call it. We're gonna slap a roof on her and go from there. Alrighty. Well, we're going to call that good enough for now. Not too bad of a little... I mean, it's not complicated detailing, but it doesn't always have to be. You know, we've got redstone lamps. I wish I had access to frog lights. Frog lights definitely work better for the windows. I had some other tries for some lighted windows back there, but they didn't really look great. We've got a couple of copper doors we stole from over there. And I even got a floor going on in here. It's nothing special, but it's an industrial building, you know? It's not supposed to be. So, over here we are going to have our little water elevator going down to the dirt mine. I'm going to finish cleaning the rest of this up between episodes, and I think next time we're actually going to go and we're going to build ourselves a moss farm. because I did get some moss from the watering trader a while back, but I have not done anything with it yet. And I definitely would like to get some azalea bushes to the azalea trees and thus leaves, and add a little bit more color and some different shapes to the exterior here. Other than that, I think that's going to be where we call it an episode on this time. So we've got a little bit of terraforming done, which I'm going to have to expand just because, yeah, when you look at it from several angles now, it looks it looks kind of funky now. So we're gonna add to the terraforming, but this is not a bad view if you ask me for the first builds in this world. Alright, so that's what we're gonna call it an episode. Not too bad if I don't say so myself. Now if I could just get the Wandering Trader to show back up and sell me some pointed dripstone, and then the two builds that need pointed dripstone in them would be a little bit better. I guess for now I'll just use that as like a little gazebo / picnic area or something. Who knows? We'll figure something out. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode of my Superflat Survival. I am the OP Leprechaun. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!